welcome back for the second video. This is also our second day of pretty much official house arrest here in Belgium, followed yesterday by Spain. Everything is pretty much locked down there, and France as well, and also Austria just also made a big announcement. So we're all kind of stuck inside, not being able to go to our favorite classes, and this was the inspiration why. So today I'd like to focus on circular movements in the body. We'll start off with some small circular patterns, and then we'll get into some larger ones, and then we'll get back down again. So again, this is inspired by my beloved teacher, T.S. Little of Prajna Yoga, and we just came out of a really wonderful training in London where we worked a lot on circular flow, which helps to support our immune system and our immunity, and that's really crucial right now. And especially supporting your lymphatic system and lymph drainage. So that's the focus for this class. Okay, so blanket, if you need one for any seating postures, or if you need to put a knee down, or anytime you want to use that, you can also cover yourself in Shavasana with a blanket. And I also have 2 blocks off to my side. I don't think we're going to be using them very much, but it's always good to keep blocks near your mat if you have them in the house. Okay, so let's start by lying down again. Getting in the middle of your mat. And always starting from that very quiet place of Shavasana, where we can drop into our center, we can drop into the breathing, really allowing this breath to travel very peacefully up and down the central corridor of your body, and feeling the weightiness of your bones on the ground, really feeling that connection with whatever that's beneath you, so that we can rise up with more stability and courage and energy. And I'd like you to take a long breath in through the nose, filling up your belly, your lower lungs, your upper lungs, right into the upper chest. Hold your breath in, and then let it out. Just feel how your body is sinking. Do that again. Inhale. Belly, lower lungs, middle lungs, upper lungs. Taste that breath right up into your throat. Hold your breath in. And let it out slowly. And then one more time. Inhaling, low belly, upper belly, low lungs, upper lungs. Fill up your whole rib cavity. Hold it in. And let it out. And just come back to a natural breath. And bend your knees. Place the feet on the mat, about hip width apart. Same with the knees. Allow the soles of your feet to feel very planted, very heavy, as well as the back of your hips. And again, as we talked about in the last video, you want to feel this direct line, this connection between the back of your head and the back of your hips, very nicely vertically lined on top of each other. And imagine with your right knee, there's a pencil on top. There's a pencil attached to the top of your right knee. And you're going to draw a small circle in the air with that right knee. So it's barely visible. And see if you can make a small circle without lifting your right foot off the ground, so that stays heavy, as well as the pelvis, as well as the back of the head. As you just make a circle with just the right knee in the same direction. And just notice where the hip fibers contract when they release. Noticing the head of your femur bone moving slightly in your hip socket. Just a nice circular pattern. And then reverse. feeling that deep inside. It's more of an internal movement than an external movement. So this is our sensory awareness training. It's sensing a movement and a sensation of feeling deep inside. Around and around. Here is your first circular flow. We have a lot of lymph nodes, clusters of lymph nodes that are found in the inner hip area. Okay, and then pause. Pause with the right knee. Just go ahead and settle the torso. Let it drop. And then go to your left knee. Imagine that pencil is attached to the top of your left knee. And you make a circle. See if you can isolate that movement just in left knee rather than dragging the right knee in the process. And what do you sense on this side? How is that different than the right side? Does it flow more? Are there some more sticky bits? Do you feel any tension in some areas? Around and around. Also notice the different pressure points that it creates in the back of your hips, especially on the left side. How does it drag the rest of your spinal column into the movement? It's almost like a ripple effect. And then reverse. And you can make your circle maybe a little bit larger than mine or a little bit smaller, just depending on your body and what feels good. Around and around, circular flow. And then we slowly pause and allow the pelvis to sink, low back sinks. And take your arms slightly away from your body, maybe about 45 degrees. You'll walk your feet together, knees together, and then bring your knees into chest. Now you're going to feel the weight of your low back pressing a little more firmly into your mat. Drop your chin down into your throat. And keeping your knees together, make a small circle in one direction. So now the knees are going together as you draw that circle in the air. Your feet remain airborne. Notice space in the lower belly region when the knees move forwards towards the top of your mat, and how you press into the lower intestines as the knees come back in towards the chest. And keeping your feet relaxed, keeping your eyes relaxed, shoulders, neck relaxed, and then reverse. And just feeling the sacral fibers, pressure points, different areas of your back pelvis, and even into your low back. And then pause, come to center. Okay, and then just take your feet down, relaxing inner hips, relaxing the belly. Slide your legs down. Pause. Feeling that opening through the inner hips. Take another breath. And then we rebend our knees. And we place the feet again together. Walk them together, knees together. Bring the knees into the chest. Now, without using your arms, I want you to take your right knee closer into your chest. So a little bit of abdominal work there. So we've offset the knee slightly, keeping your left knee stationary. Bring your right knee out to the side, around towards the front of your mat, and then back towards your left knee. And then do that again, up to the chest, out to the right, forward, and back to left knee. So just again, a circle, maybe a little bit larger circle than how we first started. As we get into some more flexibility of your hip, around and around. And then pause at your left knee. Now do the opposite with your left knee. Place it slightly forward, away from your knee, your right knee. You're going to swing it gently out to the left and back up towards your chest and around towards your right knee. Move it forward, out, up, back to right knee. Okay, so just do that a couple more times. I mean, my hip is definitely different than my right hip. It talks to me differently than my right hip. So this side I hear more noise, more clicking. It's not as smooth as my right hip. Okay, and I'll do a couple more here. One. And then the knees come back together again. Okay, now I'd like to put those two movements together. So remember, the right knee came in towards the chest and the left knee moved forward slightly towards the front of your mat. And then we swing both the knees out to the sides. Now the right knee goes forward, left knee into chest, and then they come back together again. So try that again. Right knee into chest, left knee starts going forward. They loop around to the sides and they switch gears as the right knee goes forward, left knee up to chest, and then they come back together again. So go ahead, try to work that with your thought process. So essentially, you're making the form of a figure 8. And what I like to think of is the infinity sign, as it just continues to loop. It never stops. As we keep promoting all of our systems inside, not even just the lymphatic system, but so many of our different systems inside are being supported by circular flow. Our respiratory system, our vascular system, everything. Because everything does loop inside our body. Could you reverse that? How does your brain react to reversing? What are the sensations that you're building in your hips? Inner hips, outer hips? Let's do 2 more. Do you hear any sounds? And then we pause. Take your feet down. And just for a moment, slide your legs down and let that work go. And then bring your feet back in, feet together, knees into chest. Bring your arms wider out to the side, turn the palms of the hands down. Pull the knees in a little closer in towards your chest. So now we're engaging the abdominals. See if you can do that without tightening up in your neck. And then we're going to lower the knees to one side, maybe up towards that shoulder, not all the way, and then we come back. And we go to the other side. And we come back. So you may go halfway down or 1/3 of the way before you come back. Just stay controlled, keeping your shoulders down, your shoulder blades down. And some of you might even want to go almost to the ground before you come back up. You can start alternating your head in the opposite direction that the knees are. Always returning everything back to center. Let's do about 2 more. And then we come back. Place your feet down. Pause for just a moment, softening through the hip flexors and the low belly. Take your arms into goal pose position. So again, your elbows at 90 degrees. Palms are open. Bring your knees into chest and straighten your legs up towards the sky. Okay, good. So we're going to point our feet, we're going to spread our toes. And we're going to take very small movements right and left. See if you can keep your legs stacked right on top of your hip sockets. And as we breathe out, we go to one side, just partly way, and then come back and go to the other side. Yeah. So we don't want to go so far that we unglue from our mat. So see if you can really keep the shoulders heavy as you rock back and forth. And then start to bring your head in the opposite direction of your legs. Now if you start to feel any low back pain, any irritation there, bend your knees. Let's do a couple more. Just keep it within your own stability and your own comfort zone. Just notice where the labor is coming from. Notice where the effort is coming from. And it should be coming from your low torso. Okay, and then finally we're going to come back to center. And we bend our knees. Okay, and we wrap our arms around. Just hold the knees into the chest. Okay, and then we're going to rock over to our right side. And we're going to come up. And we're going to face the top of your mat, or however you can see me, if you need to see me. And then we're going to take our knees a little wider than our hips, and our two big toes can come together, hands underneath shoulders. And we're just going to loop up. Just bring the hips with you. And then as you breathe out, we're going to dive under, coming right down onto shoulder side of head. And then we're going to come back up again. So we're just making bigger circles now, bigger loops. Coming up again. And going down. Now that left arm that's supporting you is really helping to control the speed. So as you bend that left elbow to go down, go nice and slow so you really feel the work there. And we'll do one more. And we inhale, we open up, and we take the hand down. And switch to the other side, inhaling left arm up. And we loop under, coming down onto left shoulder side of head. And then again, rising up. Make your movements slow, really tracking the path that you're taking so that we don't go beyond our edges, right? Especially when we're twisting. We have to be really careful how our vertebrae react to that. But it's not even just our spine that's making this movement. The whole body is getting involved. Everything is getting involved. Even the feet, as the tops of the feet are pressing down. So especially those body parts that we don't even see when we're doing a pose, we can't forget them. Let's do one more. Okay, and then we're going to slowly, slowly, slowly come up and take the hand down. And then we're going to walk our knees in, toes under, and we take it up. Downward facing dog. Okay. And then again, just let one leg open at a time. Stretching the heel back away from the toes. Okay, and then inhaling both the heels up, looking forward, bending the knees. It's almost like you're doing a leapfrog, and then go back into downward facing dog. Okay, so again, inhale, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, straighten your legs, downward dog. Okay, and then we're going to take a big step to the top of our mat, bringing our feet together. And if you cannot reach the ground with your fingertips and halfway lift, it's a little bit easier for me because I have shorter legs, then you can take your hands to the shin bones. I actually love this, even for myself, because I can press my shin bones forward into my hands, and then my hands press back. And that gives a nice extension through the front of the spine, and it triggers the low back to turn on. So take another breath here. And then we let it go. We fold. And then we inhale and we come all the way up. And we take our hands to our chest. So now we're going to do the flying dragon. And a lot of students request this, and it's just a beautiful, much larger circular flow for the body, and it's just an amazing way to get everything pumping and moving inside. This is a beautiful sequence that I learned from Paul Greeley. So I'd like to share it now, and it's just nice to do it on a video because a lot of us forget it when we go home. So here we are. This is my rendition of it. We're standing at the top of the mat with our arms down, Tadasana, the Tada body, straight line. And as we breathe out, we bend our knees and we touch down. We touch earth. And then as we breathe in, we bend our elbows and lift the right knee. Lift your heart as well. We send those toes to the back of the mat. Take your time. Hands come down to the inside of your foot. So it's okay if the right hand comes to the wooden floor. We're going to bend our elbows towards each other as you turn your front toes out, and we go low. We see if we can bring our chest low to the ground without rounding the back. So we keep extending it forward out of the back leg. And then we press the arms straight, turn the toes forward, and open your chest, lifting left arm. Now, if you have a little more mobility in your upper body, you can take it further back, as if you want to look up, open the chest to the sky, keeping that back leg really strong. Then taking the hand down to the outside of the foot, right hand comes back onto the mat, and we swing our tail up into the air. That's the dragon's tail. And then we bring the tail forward between the hands. You reach your right arm forward, straight out of that back heel, and the dragon flies away to the other side of the world, and only left hand comes down. So now you're at the back of your mat, and you're going to reopen into that twist, and if it feels okay, you can take it even further back, opening chest towards the sky, and then taking your hand down to the outside of your foot. And we're going to swing our tail up, right leg up, bringing the foot back between the hands. And then dragon's wings is lifting from the elbows, backs of the hands, rising, rising, rising up, lifting your energy up, even looking up if you can. And then exhale, you make claws with your hands and you pull your elbows right down into the waist. And then you inhale and you reach back up again. And you reach forward, taking your hands down to either side of the foot. Swing your dragon's tail back up, right leg. So here's a complicated part. We're going to take that right knee into chest. We hop our back heel down into the right, and we punch into the dragon's belly by pressing right leg under. Spin your back toes, the left toes, to the back of the mat, and you lift your hips. And then we pull back in, and we bring our tail up. Bring your foot to the top of your mat. And then the dragon flies away. And then the dragon flies into his nest, taking the fingertips down to the mat, feet together, and you tuck in. And then as you inhale, you rise up through the backs of the hands, lifting your energy up, 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 and then pull new energy back down into the body, right through that central corridor, until the arms come down alongside your body. So now, we're standing at the other side of our mat, so we're going to do it all over again with the left leg. We'll start from there. As you exhale, bend your knees, touch down. And then slowly come up, lifting left knee into chest. Lifting up, 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 opening, opening. And then slowly taking that left foot way to the back of the mat. Go deep. A lot of students tend to go too short there. Take your hands down to the inside of your right foot. Left hand is on the floor. It doesn't have to be on the mat. We turn the right toes slightly out, about 45 degrees. We bend our elbows in towards each other as you lower your chest. Look to the right. And then you come back up again. You can turn your right toes forward, twisting dragon, bringing that right arm up. And then maybe a little bit behind you. And then you take your right hand down again to the outside of the foot. Left hand comes back onto the mat. And you swing your dragon's tail up into the air. Bring your knee into chest. Look forward. Step through. Reach forward through your left arm on that same trajectory as the back leg. Press your feet down, and the dragon flies around the world to the other side. And only the right hand comes down, twisting dragon again to the other side of your mat as you maybe come onto almost to the back. And you take your hand down to the outside of your foot, and you swing your tail up into the air. Bring your foot forward between your hands. Come up onto your fingertips. Keep those inner legs strong as you press down through your feet and you come up. Dragon's claws, lifting up through elbows and the backs of the hands, and you're coming up, 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 up. Keep that back leg really strong, and then you make those talons with your fingers as you pull your elbows down right towards your kidneys, and then inhale, you reach back up again, up, 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 up. You reach forward, take your hands down, and you swing your tail back up. Okay, so here's the challenging part. We're gonna bring the knee into chest. We're gonna hop our right heel to the left, bend through that knee, and punch through the dragon's belly as you take that left leg under, straighten that left leg, turn your right toes to the back of the mat, lift your hips, chest to the sky. And then you pull that left leg back in and up. Bring your knee into chest, step forward. Come up onto your fingertips. Take a moment here to breathe. And then the dragon flies away. And then he flies into his nest, feet together, and drop your head. And then rise up through the backs of the hands. Lifting, lifting, lifting that good energy that you created. Up, 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 give it off. And then pull new energy back down into your body. Brand new energy for the next looping. So here we go. Tadasana. Find your breath. Start to settle your breath down again. And as we breathe out, we bend our knees and we touch earth. As we come up, we lift right knee into chest, bringing the elbows, backs of the hands up. And then breathing out, we step to the way back of our mat. 2 hands to the inside of the foot, turn your left toes out, bend your elbows, go low as you look left. And you come back up again, turning left toes forward, twisting dragon. Lifting left arm up, and then maybe spinning the chest open. Taking your hand down to the outside of your foot, right hand back on the mat. Swing your left leg up into the air. Bring your foot forward between your hands, coming up onto the fingertips. Reach your right arm forward, and then the dragon flies around the world to the other side. Only the left hand comes down, back leg is powerful, twisting dragon. Take your right hand back down again and swing your right leg up. Bring your foot forward between your hands. Pause. dragon's wings. So you rise up, 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 and then you make the claws. And then you rise back up. The wings reach forward, down, swing the right leg back up. And then bring that right knee into chest, hop your back heel down to the right, punch into the dragon's belly as you turn your left toes to the back of the mat, lifting the hips. Retract as you bring that leg in and back up. Right foot between your hands, pause. And then the dragon flies away. And then he flies into his nest, feet together, and you fold and you just tuck in. And then we rise up, we bring that new energy we just created out and up into the world. All that good, clean energy. And then we pull new energy back in and down through the center of the body for one more. Take a breath. And we bend our knees, we touch earth. We lift our left knee into chest as we come up, and then we step the left foot way to the back of the mat. 2 hands on the inside of the foot. Right toes turn slightly out. You're going to bend your elbows in towards each other as you look to the right. Go low. And then you press back up. Turn your right toes forward, twisting dragon. Open your chest to the sky. Bringing your right hand down to the outside of the foot, left hand back on the mat, swinging your tail up into the air. Bring your knee into the chest, step forward, come up onto fingertips. Reach your left arm forward, press down through the feet. Dragon flies around the world to the other side. Only right hand down, twisting dragon, and maybe turning the chest to the sky. Taking your hand down and swinging your tail up into the air. Again, bring your foot forward between your hands, up on your fingertips. Press your feet down, dragon's wings. Soft bend in the elbows, lifting through the backs of the hands. Up, 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 up. Dare to look up. And then make those claws with your fingers as you pull your elbows all the way down. And then you reach back up, 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 forward, hands down, and swing your leg up. Bring that left knee into chest, turn your right heel down into the mat, punch the left leg under the body, really pressing the outer edge of that left foot into the floor, lift your hips, and then pull back in, left leg up. And you bring your foot to the top of your mat, between your hands, up on your fingertips. And then the dragon flies away. And then you fly into your nest, feet together, and you fold. So really big looping there. And then you come up, lifting, lifting through the backs of the hands, soft elbows. And then pull new energy back into the center line of your body. Down. Okay. And then as you go down and you touch earth, step your feet back into downward dog. And lifting your right leg up. Okay, pull the belly in, front ribs in. We're just going to make a circle with that right leg. Straight leg. Round and around. Doesn't have to be too large. So keep pressing through the pads of your fingers. Keep your shoulders pulled in. We're not overextending in the shoulders. And then could you reverse that? then lifting that right leg up, bring the foot forward between your hands. Coming up onto your fingertips. Drop your back heel into the mat. And then slowly, slowly, without rounding the back, can you start to begin to straighten your front leg without locking the knee? Now, if you feel like your back is rounding just in order to straighten that front leg, then take a block under right hand and take it up higher, left hand to hip. Otherwise, you keep your right fingers to the floor, very near your outer heel. And then you're gonna lift through that left hip. You're gonna rotate left hip upwards as you wedge that bottom hip under, and then take your left arm up. So we're in Trikonasana. Now that top arm is gonna loop. So you're gonna take this top arm, you're gonna reach it over your head, away from your back heel. You're gonna take it all the way down to the ground. You can even follow it with your eyes. And then back towards your left foot and revolve back up. Let's do that 3 more times. Exhale over the head, down, back, and up, reopening, over the head, down, back, and up. And one more time, over, down, back, and up. Okay, take about 2 breaths here. Maybe notice your front knee, make sure it doesn't fall in. Pressing down through the mound of your big toe, your front big toe. And then take your hand down. Let's step out. Downward dog. Okay, so just notice how right side of body feels quite different than the left side of the body. And let's take left leg up. And when you're ready, when you feel stable with the hands, the shoulders, and your breathing, make a circle with that left leg. Now again, it doesn't have to be that big. It can be much smaller on this side, just depending on how that hip feels. Okay, so my left hip is a little bit wonkier than my right hip, so I would just make a slight smaller circle here. And then reverse. No breath holding, just keep it flowing. Okay, and then taking that leg up a little bit higher. Good, bringing the knee into chest, look forward and step through, coming up onto your fingertips. Take your back heel down into the mat, right into the center of the mat. Really sense the whole extension of the front of your spine, keeping that as you slowly start to straighten your front leg. Now again, if you need, take that block, because it's better to have that heart lifted, okay, rather than collapsing. Or the fingertips are down near the outer heel, or the block near outer heel. Okay, right hand comes to hip, and then we revolve that right hip up as the left hip tucks under as we open to the side, okay? And then we take that right arm up, stacking it over left. There, okay. Keep your front big toe pressing down, and the left, that front knee, the left knee rotating out. You're gonna take your top arm, you're gonna reach it over your head, away from the back heel, and then down, back, up, over, down, back, up, over, down, back, up. One more time. Big loop. And then you finish taking that right arm up, opening, and taking your arm down. If you have a block, take it to the side, bend your knee, stepping out, downward facing dog. Okay, good. Now, from here, you're gonna inhale, right leg up. You're gonna bring that knee into chest. We're gonna come forward. And we've done this before. We're gonna inhale the knee out to the right, and we're gonna loop it over to the left. We're gonna do it one more time. We're gonna inhale the knee out to the right, it to the left. And then we bring it straight into the center. Hold it. Take the knee back up. Take the toes just to the outside of your, or the back of your left knee as you come into side plank. Okay, take another breath here. Now we're going to take that back leg, the right leg, and we're going to step it forward. So we're going to come onto the left toes and we're going to step forward. And then we're going to take that back heel, hop it down and in. You're going to loop your right arm down, back, and up. So now we're in reverse triangle. It's just a different way of getting into it. Okay, so again, if you need a little bit more lift in the heart, take your block. Take about 2 more breaths. You can look up if it's okay for your neck. And then we're going to take the hand down, bend the front knee. If you have a block, set it to the side, downward facing dog. Okay, so here we go. This is our last standing sequence before we get to the ground. We're going to inhale, left leg up. We're going to bring that knee into chest. We're going to come forward into that plank pose, really tucking that knee high into the chest, really pushing away from the floor. We're going to inhale the left knee out to the left, and then over to the right, and then loop it back to the left, and then over to the right, and then back to center. Hold it there, hold it there, hold it there at center, and then take that left knee out again to the side, up, taking the toes just to the floor, right behind that right knee joint, lifting bottom hip, side plank. Take about 2 more breaths. Then here's the hard part. We're going to take that left foot, the one behind, and we're going to bring it forwards towards the top of your mat. So on the exhale, you step your left foot forward, coming onto back toes. There you are. Come up onto your fingertips. Then take your back foot, take it 1 step in, heel down, straighten your front leg, loop your left arm down, back, and up as you turn your chest out to the left. And again, you're welcome to take a block. Let's take about 3 more breaths. Really hug that left hip back, right hip forward. And then we take the arm all the way down. Bend our front knee and we step it out. Downward dog. Okay. Take your knees down and release the work. Just coming into child's pose. Let your arms release behind you, allowing your shoulders to drop towards the floor. Tucking your chin in. We'll take about 3 more breaths. Re-supporting yourself, coming up onto hands and knees. We're going to cross our ankles. We're going to sit back. Okay. All right. Here's a little crazy today. Here's a little crazy. Okay. So then we're going to take our legs forward in front of us. Janu Shirshasana is bringing the right heel up towards the pelvic floor. And we'll just offset the left leg slightly to the side edge of your mat. So it's just a little bit wider. We're going to hold on to our knees. We're going to pick up our chest. We're going to turn our chest and our chin towards our left foot. And we're going to take our fingertips down on either side, 10 fingers down on either side of the left leg. And you're going to reach your right arm forward. Right arm forward. Okay, just about the height of your shoulder. And you're looking at that thumb. And you're going to loop to the back. So you're going to inhale and you're going to swing your arm towards the back. You're going to come around, following the thumb. Coming around, holding outer foot, outer ankle, or outer leg and dropping your head. So that's the pattern. Release the foot, reach your arm forward, swing it to the back. Swing it forward, holding outer foot or leg, and you fold. Again, wrap to the back. Come around forward and hold. And one more time, wrap it to the back. And then forward, hold the foot or leg, fold, and stay there for about 4 or 5 breaths, dropping your head. Left fingers can stay on the floor, elbow can stay bent. And then inhaling, lifting head, lifting chest. It's like you're pulling away from that right hand, and then you let go. And you sit tall. And we do the other side. Okay, so we pull the left heel into the pelvic floor, and we offset the right foot just a little wider to the edge of your mat. You hold your knees, you lift your chest, and on your breath out, you turn just the upper torso together over to your right knee. Chin is still aligned above your sternum. And then you take your fingertips down. Yeah, all 10 fingertips down. And then we just start to walk the fingertips forwards, just following the fingers, bringing the pelvis with you. Yeah. And then you reach through your left arm, just about the height of the shoulder, no higher. And you're looking at your thumb, which should be at about the level of your eyeball. And keeping your eyes soft as you inhale and you open your chest and you wrap to the back. Now it's really different when we do this sequence at the end of a practice rather than at the beginning of the practice, because you'll notice that you'll be able to open up a little bit easier. And then again, inhaling, wrapping to the back. Coming around, holding outer foot or outer leg as you drop. Inhaling, reaching arm and wrapping it. See if you can feel the flow of it. So it's just one flowy movement. Wrapping to the back. And coming around, holding outer foot, dropping head. Let's let this be the last one. Inhale, open the chest, go to the back. And come around to the front, watching the thumb. Hold outer foot, ankle, or leg, and drop your head. See if you can drop your head towards the outside of your leg. And the right hand is on the floor, flat or fingertips, just for some stability and balance. Let's take 2 more breaths. It's such a beautiful way to open the back line of the torso. Here on this side, it's now from the top of your hip crest and moving up through the left ribs towards the shoulder. And then inhaling, pulling up, using your hands to help you, lifting chest until that left arm is straight. And then we let it go. Okay. Lengthen your left leg all the way down. Let's shape that workout. We're going to come into the center of our mat. We're going to come down, bringing our knees in. Yep. And then just gently rock it from side to side. And then I'd like you to bring your arms again back into goalpost position, elbows bent at 90 degrees, and then you're going to send both your legs up. And then just lowering your left leg slowly, slowly all the way to the ground. Okay, so now let's focus on this right leg. The right leg goes down about halfway, out to the side, around, and back up again. Down, out, up, to center, down, to the right, around towards your face, and then back up again. Do it one more time. And back up. Now I want you to add to the left. So you're going to go down, out, up towards your face, over to the left, towards the left foot, come around, out to the side, back up, over to the left. It's a big circular movement, much larger than when we started. Yeah, so notice how many muscle tissues and ligamental tissues have to get involved to make this movement. Okay, now when you come back up again, reverse. Out to the right, down to the front, over to the left, and back up. Out, around, over to the left, and back up. One more time. Out, down, left, and back up. Good. Bring your left leg up as well. And then very slowly lower, 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 lower. Right leg down. Okay, so here we go. Left leg goes out to the left, around to the front, and back up. Left, around to the front of your mat, and back up. Okay, so again, this is my left hip, so it makes sounds. So I don't really like to go too large with this side. Around to the side, down, and back up. So just stay within what feels accessible to you, and what's comfortable for you, and where you feel that you're certainly helping your body and healing your body and not harming it in any way. And then you come back up. Now, let's do it a little bit deeper by taking the leg over to the right. So you're going to take the leg out to the left, down to the front of your mat, over across the midline of the body to the right, and then back up again. So you'll notice that your hip lifts. Go out to the left, down, over to the right, and back up again. Left, down, to the right, and back up. So where's your range of motion? Okay, let's do one more on this side. Coming back up again. Now, reverse. So we're going to go to the right, we're going to go down, we're going to come around and back up, over to the right and down, over to the left and back up. I hope we reversed it on the other side, to the right and down, over to the left and back up. And one more time, go over to the right and down, over to the left, and back up. Bring your right leg up as well. Reach your arms, reach your arms, reach your fingers, reach your toes. And then keeping your legs pretty vertical over your hips without moving the legs, can you lift up towards your toes? Keep lifting, lifting, lifting. Reach a little more and lift the chest. And then come down and bend your knees. Okay. So let's take the soles of the feet together and the hands to the belly. Just flap your knee wings up and down. Just releasing that work. And then one knee at a time. Just rocking over the back of the pelvis. And coming back to center, releasing the arms down. You may choose to remain in Shavasana with your feet bound, if it's with ease. And otherwise, just very slowly start to slide one leg down at a time as you enter the Shava. And just make any small adjustments that you would like to make. Maybe even holding the back of your head and pulling the skull back away from the top of the neck. And then taking your arms down Or if you'd like to take your blanket, you can do that. And then give yourself those moments of silence where the body completely falls into quietude. Notice also the dropping of the breath. Allowing the eyes to recede towards the back brain. There's space between the teeth, between the upper and lower molars. And I welcome you to stay here for as long as you'd like. You may press pause. We'll slowly bend the knees, placing the feet down on the mat, releasing both your arms behind you with soft elbows. And then roll to your right as you stack your knees, resting your head on your right arm and left hand comes down to the floor. Lean into that left hand and we come up and just keep your head down until your legs are crossed. You come into the middle of your mat. So we cross our legs and we take our hands to the knees and we start to pick the low spine out of the hips as we start to take it up, 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 again, coming into mid-spine, upper spine, and then we just take an exhale into the back side of the body. Drawing the chin in, head is balanced weightlessly on the neck. And your left hand comes to chest, right hand on top. And as we breathe in, lift your chest up, widen the chest into the hands as we bow our head. And we lift our head, we take our hands together. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me.